Hi, Kristin. Sorry for the delay in getting this to you. I apologize. Let's take a look and see what you did here. Staying in the same job or switching. Okay. It is considered a vital part of most adults. Here you needed an apostrophe, right? After that S. Lives to have a job. And a majority of people, at least in the developed part of the world, comma, attend work on a regular basis. Okay. Some think workers should remain in the same workplace throughout their career, yet an opposing view is that they should change where they work at least once. I strongly agree with the latter opinion and will provide examples from LinkedIn and Harvard University to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, fine. You saw me struggle a little bit. I thought that you were a little too general in the beginning, like you were talking just about that most people think it's important to have a job, and that for me was a little too specific. I thought you should have been a little more targeted to what the topic was about, which is not whether you should work or not, but rather if you should stay in the same job, have one career, have one workplace, or switch. So I wanted it a little more focused, a little more targeted. Okay. So something like it is considered a vital part of most adults' lives to, let's see, um, have one employer throughout their career and continue with that job throughout their professional life. Okay. So that for me would have been something a little more focused and a little more relevant to what you were being asked. Whereas what you wrote to me was just seemed a lot more general. It just seemed like, oh yeah, should we work or should we not work? And that's not what the question is. Okay. All right. But the rest of it was fine. On the one hand, there is ample evidence that remaining in the same job throughout your life may have some benefits. The central reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, it may lead to improved in depth knowledge in certain fields. For example, some professors remain in the same position at the same university for a lifetime to further develop and defend their thesis and research. A recent study conducted by Harvard University found that some of their most successful research was careful, not war, by staff, careful, what's going on, who had been working at the campus their whole life. Secondly, remaining in the same job may, what's going on with your spelling, Kristin, may provide benefits such as a better superannuation contribution, more accrued holiday and sick days, and also added job security. For example, a nurse at a hospital may have accrued all these benefits working in the same ward his or her life. All right, compared to what? Okay, compared to somebody who switched hospitals and has fewer holidays. Okay, so it's not entirely sussed out. It's not entirely clear. Just go the extra step and tell us what you mean. Like, what's the alternative here? On the other hand, although there is a case for remaining at the same workplace throughout your working life, the impact of changing employment cannot be overstated. This is largely because most employers nowadays expect you to have worked at several places. It proves you're able to adapt into a new environment. Well, we say adapt to. Proves you're able to adapt to a new environment and that you can keep up with change. In addition, you gain and provide new skills as you progress through different jobs throughout your career, which may lead to higher job satisfaction. Changing jobs may also give you the advantage of negotiating higher pay. A study done by LinkedIn found that employers were more likely to headhunt potential new workers who could show they had extensive experience from various jobs and as a result would offer a higher salary to attract applicants to the business. Great. From the argument examples given, I firmly believe that a career change is important at least once during your, careful with your spelling again here, working life. This is due to the fact that a career consistent of job changes, I don't understand that expression, career consistent of job changes. You don't mean that, you mean something else. A career of consistent job changes, that would have made sense. Makes you more attractive potential employers, may lead to higher job satisfaction and potentially a higher income as a result. Great, 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 great. On topic, really good. Okay, now let's talk about uh, some details. All right, in general, I thought you did a great job here. I thought that it was on topic. I thought you developed really well. I thought you did all the stuff that we've been talking about. I have one problem, all right? And that problem is related to your introduction. Your introduction does not reflect what your body paragraphs are about. Let me show you what I mean. The topic asks you, to what extent do you agree or disagree? You say that you strongly agree with the latter opinion. In other words, that latter opinion is that they should change where they work at least once. So to kind of condense it, it means that you are strongly in favor of the argument to change jobs at least once. That's what you're in favor of. All right, so since that's what you've told us, you're strongly in favor of it, and the essay only asks you for your opinion, to what extent you agree or disagree, I want to know why you've decided to talk about this. Why are you talking to us about the benefits of the side you just told us that you don't strongly agree with? Okay? If this were A, discuss both sides, or do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages, then it would have made total sense for you to include this paragraph. However, the essay does not ask that. Instead, it asks, to what extent do you agree or disagree? And you answered that you strongly agree with the other side and not this side that you have just spent a whole paragraph arguing. So, based on what you wrote in your introduction, this paragraph is irrelevant. Do I think that it could belong in this essay? Yes, I do. But it requires you to treat your introduction a little differently. Okay? So, if you decide to include a paragraph like this, even though the essay asks to what extent do you agree or disagree, you need to make absolutely sure that you answer this question accurately. To what extent do you agree or disagree? So the answer to this is not I strongly agree with the latter position. Instead, it's although there are reasons to support staying in the same job, on the whole, I strongly agree that people should switch jobs at least once. So what did I do? I essentially laid out the groundwork. I kind of set out the path to make the examiner understand that, look, yeah, I'm going to talk about this because this is not totally unreasonable. There are some benefits of this. All right, but you have to indicate that in your introduction. Remember, we've talked about this where in band 7 it says a clear position must be presented throughout the response. Throughout means from the beginning to the end. The beginning is your introduction. So I need to know from your introduction what you're going to talk about. And this paragraph came out of left field. I had no idea it was coming. And so it was really rather surprising. You don't want to surprise the examiner. When the examiner reads your introduction, he or she should have a good idea of what your paragraphs are going to talk about, at least thematically. Okay? So, again, just to kind of, recapitulate, I thought that the paragraph itself was lovely. I thought you did a great job. I thought you were on topic. I thought it was wonderful. However, your introduction has to reflect what's in your body paragraphs. It has to do this because it's part of your task achievement score. There has to be a unified sort of idea behind this whole thing. And so that unified idea should be, while there are some benefits of staying in the same job, i.e. this paragraph, on the whole, I strongly agree that people should switch jobs at least once. Okay, which is really what you talked about here. Okay, and of course in your conclusion. Kristin, tell me that makes sense. Tell me you understand it and promise me that you're going to do it in your next essays. Yes? Okay, so we're good. I thought the essay was great. I thought you were really I thought you did a great job of developing. All right, let's just make sure that you're creating unified essays. Let's go to crop production. All right, so the pie chart depicts the amount of corn, sugar, wheat, barley, blah, blah, harvested in France in 2017. Units are measured in percentages. Fine. Overall, the highest crop was cotton. You don't even need you don't make a crop. I mean, not really. Overall, the highest crop was cotton, while corn was the least produced out of the six. Fine. Cotton accounted, good, I love the word accounted. Cotton accounted for the largest part of the crop production at 34.4%, comma, over a third of the overall crops harvested. Beautiful. Sugar and wheat were the second and third largest contributors with 21.9 and 20.4 respectively, showing almost identical percentage values. Beautiful. Barley followed closely with 18%. Interestingly, these four crops stood not for, but at almost 95% of the total crop production. That's gorgeous. I love that. I love how you rounded it out and said, hey, top four were equal to 95%. The remaining two crops, rice and corn, were the least harvested items. Rice accounted for 3.5% of the production, and corn was the smallest product, made at only 1.7%. These two crops stood not for, at only 5% of the total produce made, and the production of rice was almost double that of corn. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love this. Perfect, perfect, perfect. You did some great summary here. Here you did some really nice kind of just giving us like emphasizing what it really means. So when you're talking about 34.4%, you're saying, hey, this is over a third. And then doing this thing with a 95%, I thought that was beautiful. So perfect. This is exactly what you need to be doing. I was really super, super, super happy with this task. I thought you did a beautiful job. Didn't do a word count. Don't think I need to. I know you're over 150 words. Of course, you don't have to be. Not really. Not anymore. But you were 152. So you did a really good job of extending without being annoying about it. And I also liked what you did here, showing that rice was double that of corn. That was beautiful. That was really smart. So that was a perfectly executed task. I'm really excited. So I do want to make sure that you understood my comment about task 2. Now you understood that when we talk about an introduction, sometimes I feel people underestimate the importance of an introduction. Truth be told, it's not in the band descriptors. It's not directly. But just like many other things in the band descriptors, it is discussed rather indirectly. And one place where it's discussed indirectly is in that comment where it says that your position must be clear throughout the response. Throughout means from the beginning to the end. The beginning of your essay, of course, is your introduction. So your introduction should act as a blueprint to your essay. It should let the examiner or reader, as the case may be, it should let the reader know, hey, this is what you're going to read about in the paragraphs that follow. All right, you don't want to surprise anybody. So you want to make sure that if you decide to discuss two different sides of an argument, that you have expressed that in your introduction. I really, 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 really hope that this point is clear. Let's talk about it in your next email. Let me know if it made sense. So glad to hear that your spider wound is healing. That's a relief. And okay, let's see what you do from here. Okay, I was really happy with this set. Just that one thing. Okay, so I'll be looking forward to more essays from you. Good luck.